Hello and welcome to another video. This is going to be the second video of the year, but I'm filming it first, and it is so exciting to start off this year. I've already read one book this year, which was Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince, which the first video of the year, which you've most likely already seen, is a Harry Potter talk. I haven't done that in like 5 months, so hope you enjoyed that. And if you haven't seen it yet, after this video, go watch it. Go watch the whole series. I have a whole talk series on every book so far up to the 6th one of the Harry Potter series. Go check those out. Sure, they're tons of fun. But yeah, so as you can tell from the title, I will be officially starting off the new year with mood reading. Yay! Who doesn't love a good mood reading? I do. I love mood reading. And as you can clearly tell, I have 3 options here that I was looking at for possibly picking up in this video. And I also do want to say that I am currently technically reading 2 other books for a book club that I'm in on Fable called Better Late Than Never, where it's a book club where we all read classics, which I've definitely been wanting to get into more. I am listening to the audiobook of Emma, and then I've also decided, I started this last month, but I'm carrying it into the new year, of reading a book of the Bible every month. So this month it's Romans. So I am doing both of those, but I'm just reading a chapter of Romans every day and then listening to Emma when I'm doing other things. So for like the physical book, that'll be like my main attention, my main focus. That'll be one of these 3. So the options are Eragon by Christopher Paolini. I soft DNF'd this book last year because the version of it I was reading, which was on Libby, was like 1,000 pages long. I literally got to page 400 and something. That's how long this book is. I would have finished it last year if I had this copy. So I soft DNF'd it. I will be picking it up. I gotta just find out where I was at last. But yeah. And then the next option is a book I got for Christmas. If you watched my Bookish Christmas haul short, then you'll probably know what book I'm talking about because it's clearly not the hardcover. It is The False Prince by Jennifer A. Nielsen. I have read the first 2 books in the series. This would be a reread. It has been probably over 2 years since I read the first 2. My library, for some reason, got rid of the rest of them. There's 5 books in the series. So this would be a reread, and honestly, pretty interesting one. It's only like 342 pages. That's not very long. I forgot how short this book was. And then last but certainly not least, and probably the book I'm gravitating towards the most to read, is Brandon Sanderson's Starsight, which is the 2nd book in the Skyward series by Brandon Sanderson, which is his sci-fi dystopian-ish series. And I'm really excited because I loved the first one, and I think this is the only one that I haven't picked up already. Like, this is a reread. This would be a book that I attempted, so it's the only one I haven't read yet. But I don't know, I am kind of gravitating towards this, but I really don't know. You're going to see me contemplate for a little bit, but I mean, I do want to read all of these at some point this year. This one is on my winter TBR, and I have 3, counting this one, I have 3 books left on that and only 2 months to finish it, which is the rest of January and all of February. So I don't really know if I don't know if I want to go into February with having to read 3 books off of that or not. So give me a second while I debate. Or I could just do eeny, meeny, miny, mo, because I want to read all of these. But as much as I want to read The False Prince, I'm kind of leaning more towards reading a book that I technically haven't read yet and haven't finished. So, because I've already read this, as much as I do want to read it, I may read it later on in this video. So I may just eeny, meeny, miny, mo these 2, and we'll see which one I get. So, don't judge the way I do eeny, meeny, miny, mo, by the way. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. If you want to go eeny, meeny, miny, mo. We're reading Eragon. Okay, and then possibly in the rest of this video I may get to Starsight, may read The False Prince, may want to read something completely different, who knows. So we are reading Eragon by Christopher Paolini. I need to figure out where I left off, and this actually probably be a pretty quick read because again I may have been halfway through it. I'm actually excited. I think I'm in the mood for this, so yeah, let's go. 40% of the way through Eragon. I'm questioning why I soft DNF'd this in the first place. It's really good. Why did I DNF this? Was I really just not in this mood? I think it's because I was reading The Ballad of Never after I was gonna read this, so maybe my brain was just like, hurry up and finish, or hurry up and move on so you can read that other book. But y'all, holding it upside down. This is really good, and being only 50%. I have really been in the mood for I don't know if this is considered epic fantasy, but I've really been in the mood for just pure fantasy. I read a lot of romanticises last year, which wasn't a bad thing. I enjoyed all of them. Well, I should say all. I enjoyed most of them. This is kind of what I've been in the mood for. I want to start growing and reading just a plain old fantasy, epic fantasies like that. That's what I've been wanting this year. Even though we're only like 6 days into the new year, this was a great start to that, and I'm gonna keep reading. I was actually about to start to keep reading, but I'm like, I probably should update this. So I'm gonna keep on reading, and I'll see you guys wherever I'm at probably when I finish this, to be completely honest. I finished Eragon. I gave it 3.25 stars. I definitely will say that the first 40% of this, the reason why I soft DNF'd it in the first place, you have to get through that to get to the good stuff, which is the latter 60% of this book. Definitely, probably actually the latter 50% of this book was what really gripped my attention, and that was probably the best part. I cannot wait to read the next few books in this series. I think there's 3 more plus Murtagh. And I loved the side characters. I loved Eragon too, but the side characters really helped Eragon's character development. I will say that the dialogue was a little clunky, so that does it gets some getting used to the writing style. But other than that, great book. Would recommend. Yeah, 3.25. So yeah, I don't regret soft DNFing it, but I do think that knowing now that this was what the end of this book was, I probably shouldn't have DNF'd it. But, I kind of liked getting that break from it for a little bit. But, alright, so I really don't know what I want to read next. So I'm thinking about, I'll flip you over because it'll be easier to explain this without actually showing. Okay, so I have 2 wheels here. This is my physical TBR. This is my digital TBR. I will be flipping a coin, and if it lands on heads, then it's the physical TBR. If it lands on tails, then it's the digital TBR. And whatever it lands on, I spin said wheel. And, that whatever book it lands on, that's the book I'm reading on my trip. So I actually don't know how to flip a coin. So I'm probably just gonna chuck it up in the air, I guess. So let's see how this works. Oh, where'd it go? Oh, that was cool. Okay, it's heads. I'm counting this. That was really cool. So heads. That means we spin the physical TBR wheel, which is this pastel-looking one over here. I wonder what I'm gonna get. Oh, stars. That's funny. Okay, Starsight, we have a winner. That's actually really funny. All right. So, Starsight was one of the books I picked at the beginning of this video to read. Didn't realize that was the one I was going to be getting. All right, so I guess I'm reading Starsight. I'm actually not mad about it, I mean, it was a book I had as an option, so... All right, Starsight, let's go. I will probably film... I'm also going to be listening to Emma by Jane Austen, the classic for the book club I'm in right now, on the way down to the trip that I'm going on. So I probably will have clips of me with headphones on listening to that in the car, and possibly also clips of me reading Starsight. The next time I update you, I don't think it probably won't be while I'm on my trip, because I just have stuff going on, and it'll be really hard to update you when I'm in a hotel room with my entire family. So, yeah, I will see you guys probably in a couple days. Update time. I finished Emma by Jane Austen, put up a photo of it here, on my drive up and the drive drive down and drive back from my trip, and gave it 2.5 stars. More so on the fact that I picked probably the worst audiobook to listen to, because I really didn't like the narrator and the different acting voices that were done. So the rating is more on my enjoyability of reading / listening to Emma. So it was a good book. I did find our main character and her family insufferable at times. But Emma did get some redeeming qualities. Like there was character growth for her. Her sister and father annoyed the living daylights out of me. I did love Mr. Knightley. I loved how he was kind of the only person who wouldn't put up with Emma and with her I shouldn't say self-righteous, but she does think she's better than everyone else, in her own way. I really loved Emma and Mr. Knightley's relationship. I think it was unique and sweet at the same time. I really did like them. So 2.5 stars for Emma. More on my own bad for picking not a great audiobook. And then I am now 20% of the way through Starsight, and it's so good. It's so good. I didn't have a whole lot of time to read on trip, so I didn't get super far into this, but I'm about on page 120. This is so good. I love Spensa. She's amazing. I love Mbot. Favorite character by far is Mbot. And yeah, I'm really enjoying this. So I don't really have a whole lot of thoughts, as I'm only 20% of the way through the book, but really enjoying it, finding it extremely entertaining, and yeah, it's great. I'm loving it. I definitely missed these characters, and I also kind of miss Brandon Sanderson's writing a little bit. I definitely like it, and I do want to read a whole lot more by Brandon Sanderson. Or Sanderson, however I pronounce that. I always forget how you're supposed to pronounce his last name. What I do love about this is we are gaining more information with this book. It being the second one out of the 4 or 5 main books, and there's a bunch of novellas sprinkled in there, or short stories that follow, I think, other characters. But I trying to collect my thoughts here. 1 second. I think that the growth that we're gonna see and the knowledge that we're gonna gain from this book about the Krell, the enemy of our main character, and just about our main character and her abilities and her strengths, as well as with Mbot. Mbot's still such a huge mystery to the characters and even to himself. It's quite interesting, and I think that hopefully in this book or in the books to come we find more about Mbot and his origin. Mbot is absolutely hilarious. I am gonna find a quote that I loved. It was on page 8. It's right at the beginning of the book. Okay, so he calls Spensa, aka Spin, because she does a cool skill thing, and he's you seem almost inhuman. And Spensa's kind of I don't like that. I don't like being called that. But Mbot says, I mean that in a compliment, by the way. Not that there's anything wrong with humans. I find their frail, emotionally unstable, rational natures quite endearing. I read that and I laughed out loud. It was so funny that I'm yeah, you find us endearing when you consider us frail, emotionally unstable beings. Thanks, Mbot, thanks. Being, actually human and him making that comment, I thought was really funny. Mbot throughout Skyward, which is the first book that's right up here, was super entertaining, and I think I'm just gonna fall more in love with this character as these books go on. Got to see a little bit of Jerkface at the beginning. Jerkface and Spensa moments. or Jorgen, if that's how it's pronounced, his actual name, not his call sign. Dude, I ship those two so hard. I ship them so hard, and I want them to get together. I want them to be a couple. I want them to be boyfriend and girlfriend, and I think they would be really good for each other. I think Spensa helps Jorgen, or Jerkface, I call him Jerkface because that's his call sign and I find that funny, kind of relax a little bit while he kind of reels her in, is like, hey, there are still rules to follow. Which is one of my favorite things about their characters. They are not really complete opposites. I feel like their love story would be a rivals to lovers, and I don't think they're complete opposites, but he's kind of a stickler for the rules, and she kind of has, like, she does work with the rules, like, obviously, but she's not as have to follow every single rule. She'll bend the rules a little bit and do that. So yeah, I'll update you guys when I'm farther in on the book, but yeah, enjoying it so far, and yeah, see you in a bit. So, update, I'm soft DNFing Starsight. I keep doing this with Brandon Sanderson books. I did this exact same thing with Skyward, the first book, and I should have learned from that. Is before I picked up both Skyward and Starsight, I read a fantasy book that was pretty heavy, not like emotionally heavy, but just content heavy. I think for Skyward, before Skyward, it was Three Dark Crowns, which that one was actually more emotionally heavy. While before this one, I read Aragon, which was a lot more content, world building, brain hurting fantasy. And I did the Skyward. I feel the same way about Brandon Sanderson. The one thing I don't like about Brandon Sanderson's writing is it's very slow paced, and it takes a minute to get to the good stuff. And by a minute, I mean probably 30 to 40%. I'm only 20% of the way through this. I do want to pick this back up. I do 100% want to pick this back up again. I just don't think I can do it right now. I think it's a little too much for me right now. Like, I'm finding myself skimming, which I don't want to do that. I don't want to be skimming this book. But since I'm finding myself skimming, it's making me feel like I'm not fully into this book, and I want to give this book its full chance. Same reason for Skyward why I soft DNF that. I wanted to give it a proper chance, and if I'm just not feeling it, like I'm not really feeling Starsight right now, even though I was enjoying the very beginning, but then it just kind of like the stakes kind of just dropped, and I'm really just I'm not needing the amount of world building that's still happening in this book is giving me a headache. I'm like, okay, I thought I learned everything I needed to know in the first one. Nope. Psych! You get more. So I'm gonna be soft DNFing this, and this is also where this video is going to end. Don't be mad. But I mean, it is my channel. I can soft DNF whatever I want. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And I will definitely, again, we'll say this is a soft DNF. We'll definitely be picking this up again in probably the near future. But yeah, I hope y'all enjoying this video. And please like, comment, and subscribe, and stay tuned for the next one, because I'm pretty sure the next one is a library tour. So stay tuned, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye!